where I am sitting, there might be a worktop, but there might not be. I kind of want this part here there to be a 40 centimetre gap in this doorway to about here somewhere. I'm hoping my excessively wide gut can fit through that gap and, you know, sort of slide through it if I want to get in the back quick. The sliding door on the opposite side is going to be completely clear, apart from there will be a seat there, but you'll still be able to get in. Nice and easy. 60 centimetres from the floor up, there will be a worktop, which, funny enough, equals out to this ridge here, this line here. So it's going to work out quite nice because the worktop surface is going to be here, and then it's going to bow in, which is going to be quite cool. That didn't plan it to do that; it just sort of happened. So that's quite nice. See, my hair's going everywhere. It's windy today. It's horrible weather. It was lovely weather yesterday. It was really nice. It's like really good. I wish I could I can sit my camera down here. All right. Please don't fall camera. You're worth a lot of money. All right. So let's close this door for lighting reasons. There we go. That's good. Right. So I've been looking at these things on these basically eBay. eBay. Yes, eBay, of course. Of course, it is really good. I've been looking at things like different sinks you can get. So you can get these really cool sinks nowadays for for camper vans and motorhomes and caravans in general. And they'll sit on your counter. You know, they countersink in, which is nice, which I'm so going to do. So I can have a completely flat work surface if I choose to cover it with something. Covering them. A lot of these sinks you get now are really cool because they have a lid that opens. The downside is the lid's made of glass, which I'd probably remove and make my own out of, say, a sheet of nice aluminium or something. That was my work group's WhatsApp, which is set to the is it Google Hangouts message tone? Whatever. The WhatsApp group. I needed a tone to distinguish it from the others. So my plan with the door is gauge how big the sink is for starters. Say the sink's going to come to just at the end of this pillar. That's cool. I still want a bit of workspace, but I still want a gap. Now I've figured out that I'm probably going to be good for a 40 centimetre gap and be able to slide through that, if that makes sense. You do a bit of a sideways slide. Also give me some excuse to lose weight. You know, I could do with that. That'll be good. Gives me 80 centimetre worktop to play with. But that could change depending on, obviously, the size of the sink. Now that space isn't going to be wasted, of course, because there are these amazing things called runners. You know, what's on drawers. And I was thinking of making either a fold-out, like a bar-style trapdoor thing, you know, or it to come out on runners. I was even considering making it so the whole kitchen unit can slide across and then tilt and then come out the door. You know, how cool would that be? And then be on runners so it extends out the door, so you could have that as like an outdoor kitchen area. And then when it all just folds back in, spins around and slots back in again. Again, these are things that I'm going to be thinking of when I've more so got all this section built, if that makes sense. Especially the fridge, like the structure of what the fridge is going to sit on, which is probably going to be sitting on, you know, wood like this stuff here. I've got plenty of it left over, so, well, I say I've got plenty of it. What you see is what I've got, pretty much. That's it. But I'll figure something out. I kind of wish I was making all this out of steel, because I'd just get the welder in here and just start welding everything up. So much easier with steel. I'm not much of a woodworking kind of guy. Don't get me wrong, if I had like the bank of tools, yeah, but have a welder, do whatever you want. Welder and a grinder, you can practically do anything. It's brilliant. Where was I? Sink. So yeah, the sink's going to be this height, and like I say, this is where the fridge is going to be. There's going to be a bit of a plyboard thing going up there, you know, which is going to be cupboards. Well, not cupboards really. It's going to be plyboard all the way up to the roof, hopefully. Because on top of the sink, I'm going to put a microwave grill in here. I know, right? I'm nuts. This is such a small van. What the hell am I thinking? Where am I going to put all my stuff? I don't know. This is where the roof rack's going to come into play, I think. Probably have twin roof boxes on the thing to keep all my clothes and things. That's why I really want to get that cupboard sorted out, because it'd be great to store like some clothing in one side and some food in the other. I don't know, we'll see. But under the sink there's going to be some storage too, because I plan to put my water tanks onto the floor. They're only going to be small water tanks, say 20 litres a piece, but I think I can do it. But then I've got to remember I've got to put my batteries somewhere. Now this is a 48 volt van. Well, it's not 48, it's 12 volts on the front, but it's going to be 48 volts on the leisure system, which again, I'm absolutely nuts for doing this. I'm crazy, I'm insane, I'm nuts. And people, I'll be the only person in the whole of the UK with a 48 volt leisure system on a camper van. I will be, I guarantee it. No one else will do that. Ideally, I would love to run lithium ion cells or lithium polymer. Well, not so much lithium polymer, they're a bit explosive. Or LifePo 4s. Super cool, but yeah, LifePo 4s have got their own disadvantages. They've all got disadvantages. Probably going to go for SLAS, sealed lead acids. Would be nice if I get my hands on AGM cells, but the problem with AGMs, which stands for absorbent glass mat batteries, the problem with those is they are crazy expensive. They're like really expensive batteries to buy. Commonly find those to work in scrap, of course, I keep saying that. We get those coming from, say, like telephone tower backup systems, so like, you know, cell phone towers. When the power goes out, they've got an emergency backup system, which is usually the box next to them. That also contains all of the signal amplification stuff, which I take apart. It's one of my jobs to, when they come in there, I take them apart. It's fun, it's great stuff. Lets you learn how they're made, how they're put together. Anyway, digressing there. So they have these nice, usually a yellow cell, nice long cell about this long, thinnish, about this wide, and about that tall. Yeah, you know, could be in the frame. So I was planning of taking out some supports under the floor of this van, which are only thin sheet steel. I don't think we're really supporting as such. Well, they feel like things like the handbrake cable to sit through, which is good, but with this being a van that is for left or right hand drive use, they use the same shell. They just bolt the things on the opposite side depending on which part of the world it's going to. They're all supports you don't need, so I'm thinking if I remove those, I've got a nice long bit of area where I could put batteries. I probably won't be able to fit those AGMs in, but I might be able to get something along the lines of some 33 amp hour sealed lead acids, which doesn't sound like much, but it's alright. Other cool thing is as well, I could probably also find other places to put batteries, using the little 7 amp hour block star batteries, which the inverter that I've got normally runs on. Because I keep going on about this, the inverter is a UPS backup inverter for a rack mount server of all things. Again, got it from work, scrap. If you want one of those, they're everywhere. You know, just look in any scrapyard, excuse me, so to speak. There's quite a few of them, and you'll probably be able to pick one up for like 30 quid. It's really good price. So that's going to be doing my power. That UPS inverter is hopefully going to sit, have a look at this, under the fridge here. I've currently got this fridge set on a toolbox and socket set, but underneath where that socket set and toolbox is, my inverter is going to go. Now my inverter is quite good because I have hacked and slashed this thing. They are usually quite a big bulky item, you know. If you look back on my other videos, you'll see the thing. It's about the size of this bloody fridge, I kid you not, but flat. You know, it's only about I don't know, 8 centimeters, 10 centimeters high. But it's huge, it's a rectangular shaped thing. Now, half of that was a battery pack, which is good, but to be fair, I probably could have just about slid the whole thing in there. No, it would have been too wide still. But I've hacked and slashed the case down a bit, took all the components out before I did that, and made it so that it's just the electronics part, not the battery part. That is pretty good because it's a bit safe, you know, space saving, and I would prefer my batteries to be under the van rather than inside the living space, if that makes sense. I know they're sealed lead acids, but you know, they're designed not to vent at all. But say in the event of something like the charge controller fails and it starts pumping loads of amps into the batteries, they will blow the caps off them. They've got little caps in the batteries, which in the event of like serious overcharging, they just pop off. I've done it plenty of times. I talk from experience. Believe me, overvolting and over, you know, putting too much current in things. Oh, I do that a lot. So yeah, I've blown many things up doing that.